You're listening to the Zebra Podcast Network, your school, your voice.
Welcome to Peer to Peer. We're New Brunswick High School peer leaders, and this is the podcast where we talk about the experiences that shape us, the challenges that test us, and the moments that make us all leaders. We're exploring the paths we've taken and the lessons we've learned, the wisdom we've gained so far. Join us on this journey of reflection, growth, and leadership. This is Peer to Peer, where your story matters. Hey guys, welcome back to another banger. Here we're P2P. We're hosting our 4th episode, and we're on the NBHS Peer Leaders on Instagram. We're on Spotify, Apple, and just you could hit the link in our bio to go to our media to where we at. I'm your host Nancy, and I'm here with my fellow peer leaders,
Kelsey
and Joanna.
Today we're gonna talk about pathways after high school. Now that we are basically ending our senior year, what are your plans after high school?
I plan on going to college, so I'm gonna go to Rutgers, Newark.
Yeah. What do you want to major in? Or
I'm going to double major in political science and English.
I'm also planning on going to college, but I'll be majoring in data science at NJIT.
Yeah, me too, but I'm just not going to NJIT. I'm going to Ramapo or somewhere else. What led you guys in that direction?
Well, I always knew that I wanted to go to college when I was little, so it wasn't really a choice I don't know where I'm going to go. And I kind of always assumed that I was going to go to Rutgers. It was just
for me, my career path, what I wanted to do changes a lot throughout my life. More so now. This year, I decided that I wanted to do data science. At first, I thought that I was going to do computer science. In the beginning of the year, I'm I'm going to do computer science. But then taking statistics, I'm okay, yeah. I can do this. I like this. So then, yeah, I just decided to do data science. And I knew that I didn't want to go to Rutgers. I know that might be...
Aren't you wearing a whole Rutgers shirt? Hold on. She's wearing a whole Rutgers shirt right now, guys. I have a funny
story about this. I was part of this program, this week-long program over the summer, and we got free merch. I didn't pay for this. That's why I wear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Aren't you in Rutgers Future Scholar, though?
No.
Mind you, she's in a Rutgers Saturday program where she's getting college credit at Rutgers.
Yeah, guys, don't do that, bro. Exactly. Clearly...
But, because I'm so involved in it, I'm I don't want to... because if I'm going to Rutgers, I'm staying in New Brunswick. Mm-hmm. So I'm yeah.
Oh, so you just want to get out?
Yeah.
I would have dormed regardless.
Really?
I told my mom, I live right down the street from Cook and Douglas, and that's where I would have had to go to school. I was I'm going to dorm. I don't care. I'm not going to stay at home. I don't know. I feel that's a good experience to, leave your house. Especially if you go to, Rutgers, New Brunswick. It's literally, the high school 2.0. The same people that, end up going to Rutgers, New Brunswick are probably the same kids you had class with for 4 years. So then you're going to see those kids for another 4 years. Because a lot of your gen ed classes overlap, so I'd be hell no.
No, yeah. and that's why I did it. That's why I chose not to go to Rutgers, because I'm so many people from our district just end up going to Rutgers. So
yeah. And was your mom okay with being even though you live so close, you wanting to dorm, she didn't have a problem with it?
Well, she didn't have a problem with it because I'm fortunate enough that my mom works for Rutgers, so my tuition's paid. And my financial aid is going to end up covering my room and board and, my food. Obviously, I understand, not everyone's in that position to, like extra money or, the resources to pay for something and they're able to take advantage of it. I know a lot of my friends are, they have to stay home because they can't afford to use their financial aid, take out a loan, pay their tuition, and then dorm when they live on campus. So, I felt for me, I was if I have the opportunity to, use my financial aid money to do something that I want to do, why not take advantage of what the government's giving me? They're giving me this money,
Yeah. Let me cash that check real quick. And are you a first generation college student?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Explain your situation.
Oh, okay. So in DR, I feel I'm very thing because my dad's to me he's the smartest person I know. Mm-hmm. And my dad, he majored in accounting. In college in DR, he had straight A's, he was the top of his class. And then he had 1 semester left and he was already married to my mom. He's I'm gonna finish my degree here and come. And then he was gonna do a program where he could transfer his credits. He was 1 semester from getting his diploma. And then my mom told him that she was pregnant with me. So he left everything and came here. And I felt so bad because that's the only thing he's just good at math. Mm-hmm. And I felt terrible because I felt damn, I ruined your life.
No.
I felt like, damn, like now you're out here like working like these laborers jobs when I know you're not meant for that, because everyone in my dad's side of their family, they've all gone to college, and he's like the only one that didn't finish. And I was like, damn. How about you, Joanna, though?
How about you, Joanna?
Yeah, I am a first generation college student. My mom wanted to go when she was in Mexico. She was paying through all her schooling, but she ended up having to come here just because of like, some family issues. They were like, they had to get money.
And you have an older sister?
I do have an older sister, yes. So technically, like, we're both first generation technically, but like I feel like I have it easier than she did.
Yeah, I have a older sister, but she did trade school for like medical assistant, and then she ended up like dropping out. And I was just like, oh. And then now she's going back for electrician, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Amount of electricians that I know, everyone.
Yeah, like everybody wants to do that. I'm just like, okay. So technically, I am first generation, and I do have a younger sister. So yeah, I really have to like have a lot of weight on my shoulders right now. But we're good. We gonna make it. We gonna make it. Yeah, we all gotta lock in. How you guys like? Are you guys scared or not?
I wouldn't say that I am, because just having my older sister, I know how her experience has been. She shares a lot about it. She struggled a lot, but I feel like I'm prepared because she struggled. Like, she went through it all completely blindly, independently. She didn't have a support system, and I'm lucky enough to have been part of a bunch of programs that helped me.
And what other pathways do you guys like suggest for someone that is like, I don't really know if I want to do another 4 years for college and stuff like that?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is trade school, because you still go on like a path to do a career, but it's more centered around the career. You don't take academic classes, and I feel like that's just the first option most people take.
I feel like the pathway after college starts in high school. I feel like a lot of kids don't realize that it's not like your senior year, like you wake up and you're like, oh, I know what I want to do. I feel like that kind of starts kind of 8th grade going into 9th grade. There's a lot of opportunities, like especially in New Brunswick, and like programs in Middlesex that can help you like set yourself up for success. Like obviously we have 2 other schools in the district where if you want to go into like the medical field or you really like STEM, you can go to health science. If you want like to do something in engineering or something more math oriented, we have P-Tech. And then there's other schools that a lot of people don't know about, like there's VOTech. Those schools prepare you that if you really don't want to go down that college route, you're getting the exposure to, oh, maybe I do want to go to trade school. I want to go to cosmetology school. I want to go to Middlesex and get certified to like be like an ultrasound technician. Or like sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes people like they want to do nails, they want to do hair. So it's just the exposure. And I feel like it starts in high school. It's not like a senior year thing. Like you're just applying to go somewhere, but like the classes you take in high school really prepare you for that. And I feel like you have to take it seriously starting the day you walk into the high school.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys shouldn't like feel like pressured, because like all of like the senior class, like, well, not our senior class, but most senior classes, like they're like, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna go to college. But then there's always that like one person that like I feel like they feel ashamed for saying that they don't want to go to college, So they're like, oh, like they don't know what they basically think that they're like frauds and like bums. But like college isn't for everybody, Like you could go into trade, you could go into the army if you want to. But I just wouldn't suggest like taking a gap year. Like I feel like that's like that'll kill you.
I would only like suggest like you not going. The last resort of you not going to school is if you for sure have something that this is your end goal. You want to do construction, like that's what that's your job, like that's what you want to do, and you don't need to go to school for that, then go ahead, follow your dream, pursue construction, take it seriously, and then you can build yourself up to be in a place of success. But if you don't if you kind of don't know, then that's where I would say, okay, look at another option, because you don't want to waste your money away. Even at Middlesex, people don't realize like you still have to pay money to go there. Like it's not free. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to go to Middlesex. Like sometimes it's more expensive to shell out the money at a community college than to just get the financial aid and suck it up at like maybe a 4-year that you might have not wanted to go to, but you still have you have more resources at a 4-year university than going to Middlesex and like kind of like chalking it up and be like, oh, like I'm just gonna like show up to class, and it's not even like this sounds kind of bad, but it's not even like a college experience. Like a lot of the teachers there teach at high school, they're not like giving you the time and effort. So I feel like if that's your option, I feel like that should be like the back burner. That kind of makes sense. Like if you're considering going to college, unless it's for a financial reason, like, oh, I actually can't afford to go to a school, I have to go here, then go, because you're setting yourself up for success because you know what you have to do. But if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to go to college, but I'm just going to go to Middlesex, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you know what you want to do. You obviously want to go down the college route, but you're setting yourself up to accept mediocrity. Like,
And I feel like they're just like like the only way that you could go to like Middlesex where like financially and everything like that isn't good is like if you have like if you get into like the stars program, like you know that's good, but like that like you have to put in like blood, sweat, and tears for that, like to get a 4.0 GPA and everything. But like I be getting so mad because like some people, like some of my friends, they be having a 4.0 GPA and they're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, so you work for nothing? Like, what the heck?
I feel like that tends to happen. I feel like the people who are at the top of the class just don't know what they want to do, or sometimes they're really decided. I know specifically because I have interactions with the health sciences and stuff through my program, my Saturday Scholars program. Last year, a bunch of them were like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's like you could be top of your class, but you don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, so it's like, and then like a lot of people that don't have that much, like that have a GPA, they're just like, oh, like this guy like worked so hard, like he has his whole life set together and everything, has a 4.0 GPA, like he's gonna go to college, he's gonna do this, he's gonna be like wealthy, this and this, and I'm over here with the 3.0 GPA, like, oh, I'm not gonna make it in life, basically, you know. And like it shouldn't be like that. Like you guys should just focus on yourself and like really just try and like be different, you know. Don't stick to this stereotype of like New Brunswick, you know, where they're like, oh, you're from New Brunswick, oh, you're a bum, like nah, like you're going nowhere in life, you know. Like no, be that change that where they look at us and they're like, dang, like they really like came up, you know, like secretly, you know, like move in silence.
And then another like big thing, like tagging off what Nancy said and like what Joanna's saying, it's you don't have to be like a cookie cutter 4.0. I do all these clubs, I'm in all these extracurriculars, I'm president of this, I'm president of that, and I'm valedictorian, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, that doesn't matter. You're going to end up at the same job as someone who had a 2.0 in high school. You're going to end up at the same job as someone who went to Harvard and had a 4.0. Like, it doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you end up. So don't, like, put yourself down because other people have so much, like, academic or, like, they do this, they go here. Because at the end of the day, it's your path and your journey. And if you keep on trying to compare yourself or other people try to put you down because, like, they feel like they're better than you shouldn't take that to heart. I feel like that's very, like, insecure. And, like, I don't know. Like, I see it a lot in the high school. A lot of kids who have, like, 4.0s, like, and it's, like, very, like, a small niche. Like, maybe, like, the AP kids. They'll try and put other kids down because they're not to their standards. And that doesn't matter. Like, your GPA is literally just a number. It's literally just a thing. It doesn't define how smart you are, how dumb you are. It has literally nothing to do with that. It's just a metric to see how well you do in school. Some people can be terrible test takers and bomb their SAT, but they have a 4.0. That doesn't mean they're stupid. Same people, they could have a 2.0 GPA, and yet they score 1,500 on their SAT. That doesn't mean that they were dumb in school because they had a low GPA. Like, I feel like a lot of kids applying to college, I've heard, like, my friends who are juniors, they're, like, worried because of their GPA. They're like, oh, I have a 3.5. I'm not going to get into any school. And I'm like, babes, be so serious. Yeah. Like, you're stressing for nothing. Like, just because you see all these kids on TikTok going to Harvard, going to Yale, because they have a 4.0 and they cure cancer, like, that doesn't mean, like,
cure cancer is crazy.
It's true. It's true. Someone from my old school, I pulled up her LinkedIn. She had, like, a million things. She started a nonprofit for cancer kids, and she got into NYU. And I was like, okay, but, like, that's because you wanted to do that. Like, I'm not. And
I feel like the environment really takes, like, into account, like,
surround yourself with people that you, like, that want to see you succeed. Your friends who want you to skip in the hallway, who want you to cut class, who want you to not do your work, who want you to hang out on French Street doing God knows what. They're not looking out for your success. They want to see you where they are.
Yeah.
Because if you actually want to, like, succeed, you need to surround yourself with people who are like, oh, like, I do my work. I go to class on time. I'm, like, on top of it. Okay, it's, like, okay to have fun with your friends. Like, I go out. Like, I do this, all that. Like, you don't have to be a nerd with, like, with a book.
Yeah. But, like, it's just, like, a good balance, you know, like, having time to, like, really prioritize school. And I feel like that's really, really important when we go to college and stuff like that, because if we don't prioritize school and, like, we, like, obviously, like, the college experience, like, that's, like, once in a lifetime, you know. But if we don't, like, appreciate, like, and take into account, like, also school, then it's just, like, you did it for nothing. Like, you're going to end up failing your classes. You're going to end up wanting to drop out and everything. And everybody always says, like, they have that feeling to drop out, but you shouldn't, because of New Brunswick, they just, like, have that in their mindset, like, oh, I'm gonna go to high school, but if I drop out, then I drop out. If I don't do if I don't do good in school, then I don't do good. Like, no, you shouldn't have that mindset. You should already set yourself up for success and be like, I don't have no other option. I have to pass all my classes. I have to do good in school. Like, what's the point of you coming to school if you're gonna skip all day? Like, bro, just stay home.
That's what I always say. Yeah.
No, I felt so bad because my goat, Miss Banfitch, we were like, she was showing us something like safety prep for an acid lab. And these freshmen were just, and I felt embarrassed a little bit because it was one of my freshmen. And I was like, damn.
Oh, damn. Peer leader.
I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him out. I think it was David. I'm going to call my freshman out. And I was just like, you're just running around in the science wing. There's no classes here. They called a hall sweep. Like, just suck it up and go in the hall sweep. Like, if you obviously don't want to, like, set yourself up for success, you can't help the people who don't want to be helped. You can't save who doesn't want to be saved. Like, I can only tell you so many times, go to class, do your work, do this. Like, try and be a good role model. But if you don't want to set yourself up for success, there's nothing I can do. I can't drag you to class. I can't do anything for you. At the end of the day, like, don't affect other students' learning. Because as much as, like, people try to give the high school a bad rep, there is a lot of kids who come here every single day, they do their work, and they're trying to get an education. And just because 10 kids want to run around the hallway and be a wannabe gangbanger doesn't mean that you have to impact someone else's education because you don't prioritize yours.
And I feel like that's, like, something that, like, obviously the freshmen don't see right now. That's why, like, we're trying to warn them and everything, but they don't, like, it just don't click. Like, and, like, it's like you don't know what to do anymore. But then when they get to their junior year, they're gonna be like, dang, like, I wish I didn't do this. I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't. Like, bro, we told you. Like, that's your fault.
I think a lot of it is also, it's accountability.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of underclassmen and, like, especially some seniors, you need to hold yourself accountable. Like, it's not always your teacher's fault. It's not always admin's fault. It's not always your parents' fault. Sometimes it's your fault. And, like, I feel like that was a lesson I had to learn. Like, I used to always blame my teachers if I got a bad grade. I was like, this is your fault. Like, obviously, you're not understanding my gene.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I talked to Miss Patterson one time, and then she was like, sometimes they're not going to understand. Your teachers are not going to comprehend the way you comprehend it, and they can't read your mind. Whatever you put on the paper is what they're going to grade. So if you start blaming them, it's not really their fault. Like, they're just doing their job. Like,
yeah, like, you're the one that did all the work. You turned it in and everything. And I feel like that's really important. Like, our names, like, really be on that paper. So, like, it really represents you. Like, do you want to look like a bum that don't even know, like, to capitalize your eyes? Or do you want to be that different and be like, you know what, let me try just a little, you know, like, just a little. That's, like, something that I had to learn, too, because, like, I thought that, oh, yeah, like I'm going to just swing, you know, like, take a chill, you know what I'm saying? Like, get good grades. But, like, you know, like, it's inflated here, low-key, but...
This is why I also said your GPA does not mean anything. I'm not trying to discredit anyone with a good GPA, though. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you obviously worked hard to get a high GPA, especially if you're in, like, honors or AP classes. It's obviously, like, a extra level of, like, toughness to, like, get to that level. But a lot of people here who have those, like, 3.8, 3.7s, it's inflated. Like, your GPA is not an actual measure because... I will preach this to the day I die. The curriculum here is not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is not rocket science.
Yeah.
You come to school and do your work, you will end up with at least a B. And that's saying a lot because in other schools, you show up and do your work, you end up with a C or a borderline D. Like, in other schools, you need to go above and beyond. And there's so many programs here to help you do better. Rutgers pours so much time and effort and money into the high school. And so many people don't take advantage. Like, I'm not trying to shout them out. The kids in health science and P-Tech, they're the ones who be taking it all. Like, I'm like, damn, like, I see all those programs, all those Saturday programs, and I'm like, oh, so these are all just kids from health science, and these are all just kids from P-Tech. Like, it's like 2 or 3 kids from the high school, and it's the same 2 or 3 kids in every program. So I'm just like, there's so many opportunities for you, and just because you assume you're not going to get in, like, you're disadvantaging yourself.
We took, like, a really big turn from that. But how have you guys navigated through the college experience? Like,
Girl, goodbye.
because we started talking about the freshmen and stuff like that. But
it had to be said, though. Like, it ties in.
Yeah, it
like,
really did have to be said.
Your college career starts the day you walk in this door.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff you do from freshman year build up to it. If you get into a fight your freshman year, you think your college is not going to look at that?
Yeah.
I mean, on the college application, literally ask if you, like, you know, if you've ever been, like, had
Suspended.
disciplines and all that, yeah.
And then you think you're going to sit there, lie your ass off and be like, nope. And be like, oh, I didn't get into a fight. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. They're not going to find out. Like, everything you do from freshman year that is something negative, they're going to find out. Like, you think you can sit there and lie about it? Like, no, that's not the case. And I feel like a lot of freshmen, they're like, oh, I don't care if I do this. Like, they come from middle school thinking like, oh, I'm big and bad. And then they get to the high school and then they're like, oh, I'm still big and bad. and they try to pick fights with upperclassmen to try and like assert themselves, but you really just look immature and you look like a middle schooler. My little brother who's in 6th grade acts more mature than some of the freshmen. I know it was a problem when a freshman tried to pick a fight with me. And I got scared because I was like, I'm not the fighting type. And I'm just like, you just got to the high school and you're trying to pick a fight with me. And then I remember I told her, I was like, you're going to have a rude awakening in the high school. And she just laughed it off. And I was like, look at you now. Like, you're always in the hallway. People know you as a not so nice name. And everyone has something negative to say about you. And then I remember, I'm not about to air the admin out. But I remember like I felt like really like offended one time because I was like, the admin, like I had an issue with her. The admin took her side, and I was just like, so I do all the, like, I'm not trying to like use peer as like thing, but I was like, I'm an active member in our school community. I do sports. Like I'm going to college.
Yeah.
It's not
You're
like
trying.
Like I'm actually trying. Like I'm doing what, like I'm not in the hallways fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's like the bare minimum. The bare minimum is just to walk to class, bro.
I'm doing the bare minimum. And I was the one that got punished. I was the one that got yelled at. And then obviously like I also had some fault. But then I was also like, wait, why are you taking their side?
Yeah.
And then literally not even 2 weeks later, she got into a fight. So I was just like, at the end of the day, I can look out for myself as much as like the teachers here are able to look out for you. Like, don't take that the wrong way. And admin, they're here for your best interest in mind. You also have to put yourself first because there will be like instances and situations where like you will not be the priority and you have to prioritize that to go like for your future. I just thought about, I'm not going to be here in 4 months. Like I'm going to be in college. Like,
Yeah.
trust, like we out.
Like you got things to do, bro. You got like you don't go to you don't go to sleep at night thinking, dang, like I really could fight this girl right now. Like no,
Yeah,
like
I
you
feel
don't like people be waking up mad, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Like it's 8 in the morning. It's 8 in the morning.
Exactly.
You're waking up mad. You're walking to school like mad as hell. Like you're trying to pick fights. Like no, like don't do that. Like college and your path after high school is more important than what you do here. Like I feel like you prioritize high school too much. It's like a safe balance. It's like a sweet spot.
yeah, and like the friends that you have now, like, bro, you're never gonna see them ever again. Like you shouldn't even worry about like, oh my gosh, like does this girl like me or not? Like girl,
Yeah,
ain't nobody care. Like do your thing.
like focus on yourself. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one. Like you're the one that's gonna put the clothes on your back, pay your bills, like do all your stuff. So if you don't set yourself up to do something good,
No one else will.
yeah, like, and then like back to like the whole college like topic, like
Smooth transition.
back to the whole college thing. Like no one else is gonna put yourself first. Like when you go to college, like your professor's not gonna be there. Like Joanna, wake up.
Yeah.
Joanna, wake up.
Yeah,
They're not like,
Or they're not gonna
Yeah.
email you, hey Joanna, so I saw that you didn't come to class today. What's like wrong with that? Like, are you okay? Are you sick? Like, no, like you're gonna have to sit there and advocate for yourself and be like, hi professor, like I was sick today, like I missed the lecture. Is it okay like if I come in for office hours? And like utilize your teacher's resources. Like a lot of kids, especially in college, I know like a lot of my friends, they were like, I had a rude awakening transitioning from the high school to college because I never had to ask for help. All I could do was do the work and I would still get an A. Or I could turn it in late and I would still get an A. A lot of my teachers don't accept late work. A lot of my teachers don't like answer questions in class. I have to go like ask for extra help. And I felt like something was wrong, but it was actually just like the proper way of being a student.
yeah. See, I had that rude awakening last year. I really struggled last year. So I'm glad that it came early and I won't have that in my freshman year
Yeah.
as a college student. But yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like a lot of people think that like, oh, like you can just do the same things you did in high school like in college, but like it's really not that. Like, bro, like you literally like on your own, especially like if you go to Rutgers, New Brunswick, bro, like you're like a pebble, bro. Like ain't nobody cares about you.
Like
If you don't make yourself known, they're not going to know you.
Yeah,
you're literally like, I remember my mom told me this and her coworker, they were talking to me. They were like, you're literally a number in a lecture hall. Like your
Yeah.
name is a number. Like when you take your
Yeah.
final, they literally, you have to put your Rutgers ID there. That's what they know you as is your Rutgers
Yeah.
ID. They know you as a number. They don't know you as, oh, hi Nancy, hi Joanna, you guys are
Yeah.
my students. Unless you go to a more intimate school,
Yeah.
obviously your teachers are going to know who you are because like, that's just rude if they don't.
Yeah.
But like those big party schools, like those big schools, and even those like private schools that are like really good schools, like you're just a number to them. You're a tuition check. And if you don't advocate for yourself, then you're gonna stay a tuition check. And then if you drop out, that's when they start caring because they're like, oh wait,
yeah,
I'm gonna lose my money.
yeah.
But then like those big schools, they're gonna be like, wait, I got people on the wait list. They want to come here and take your
Yeah,
spot.
exactly.
Bye.
They're gonna be like, oh wait,
not
like
wait
you know, don't drop out.
Me too. I'm on the wait list. Stop it, frauds.
but like you're gonna be in the wait list and everything. I mean, you're gonna want to drop out, and they're gonna be like, wait, like don't drop out. But then as soon as you drop out, oh, we got somebody else anyways. Like
That's here. I'm telling you, like, there's like a huge like culture shock. Like when you go from high school to college, like in the high school, they want you to come to school.
Yeah.
Like you see all the efforts. Like they do like prizes and stuff. Like they're like trying their best for you to do the bare minimum.
Yeah, like prizes just to get to class on time, bro. Like
Crazy. Yeah.
that's sad.
Not even doing your work is the requirement. Coming to school is the requirement. Like it's not even like oh, like we're asking you to have all A's. You're here early every single day. You're always in class on time. You're doing all this stuff. You're involved in everything. All they ask is for you to come to school before 7:40.
And that like goes a lot to like our peers right now, like not our peers, like the new peer leaders too.
No, our
like,
peers too.
Yeah,
They be coming to school. They be coming to school late, girl.
we admit, but like that really goes into consideration like the new peers. Like now that we're doing interviews and stuff like that, where like you can have like that 4.0 GPA, but like like we're seeing you as who you are as a person, you know. And then, like if we don't gain nothing, when we're like, dang, like you know, she could really be a leader and everything. Then we're just gonna be like, girl, your 4.0 don't mean nothing to me, like for real.
It doesn't. Or I feel so bad when I see like kids like involved with everything. They have 4.0s, and then like the way they act in person is just like, so terrible.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, like my expectation, my bar was so high for you, and then you just dropped, and I'm like, there's no hope in humanity no more, for real.
Yeah, but good luck, juniors.
Yeah, good luck, juniors.
Good luck, Thursday, juniors. Good luck, cause
This will come out Friday though.
Yeah, this will come out Friday.
Oh,
but
then hopefully you guys did good on your interview.
Yeah, hopefully you guys did good. You know, we don't want to be your enemies, you know. We're trying to be peaceful. Like, you know, we're trying to keep the peace, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though people be like throwing shots.
Yeah.
We're trying to like get y'all in.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no more this year.
That was crazy though.
Yeah, that's for next episode though, low-key. We'll talk about how we got into peers, this and that.
Why we are amazing. No, I'm playing. Say that.
No, yeah. This is the end of this episode. I know that we like fell off track low-key, like half of the episode. But I hope you guys really did understand like the gist of what we're trying to like tell you guys here, and like the advice that we're trying to give you, because we already went through the 4 years, you know, and it went by really quick, bro. Like
Really,
imagine
really quick.
like 4 years in college. That thing's gonna go by like in a blink of an eye. But we're just trying to give you guys this advice now so you guys realize and could be prepared. Not like how like a lot of our friends and everything that were prior seniors and everything, they're like, oh, I had that rude awakening in college. You know, like you want to prepare yourself and set yourself up prior to that so that you don't have that like slap in the face as soon as you get to college, you know. Like you better be there like, oh, I know how this is going to go. You know, I'm going to take it easy. Like I'm not going to fall too behind. It's just a balance, honestly. But I just hope you guys really do enjoy this episode that we have. And I hope you guys tune in. Please follow us on Instagram at NBHS Peer Leaders. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. And any last words from our peers?
Good luck.
Yeah, have fun. And
good luck, juniors. Like, good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Peer to Peer. We hope our conversation has inspired you to explore your own path and embrace the leader within you. We invite you to share your experiences and join the conversation on our social media platforms. Follow us on Instagram at NBHS Peer Leadership. Don't forget to subscribe to Peer to Peer on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. Please share Peer to Peer with someone who would also enjoy the show and get value. Peer to Peer is a member of the Zebra Podcast Network. Visit zebrapodcastnetwork.com for more information. This is Peer to Peer, where your story matters.
I would never claim